Hey girl. So, last week I decided not to post my vlog because I didn't want to. I didn't feel like it was necessary after watching it. I exported it and stuff, and I was just like, nah. So, we skipped last week. I got water in my ear in the shower yesterday when I was cleaning it. So sorry if I keep like popping my ears. It's still not exactly what I want it, where I want it to be. I'm gonna probably suction it again, but that's also why I'm doing my facial cupping today. I don't usually do facial cupping today, which is why I'm not doing like my full usual routine. But I just needed some of this fluid. I just have so much fluid. Anyways, um, yeah, lots have happened. Well, stuff has happened. I just wanted to hop on here and do a brief update for skin and for synchronicities type of thing. Um, Basically, I haven't been, haven't, I don't know which one to use, been feeling like my normal self. My mood just hasn't been great. And now I was feeling really unsupported by my spirit team and stuff, just given some events that have happened. I feel like they put things in front of me and then nothing followed through. And I was just kind of like, that plus just my mood and everything. I was just like, so long story short, I asked them to come to me in my dream, and I actually didn't even expect them to, because I was really just like, we'll see if you actually show up, type of thing. It's getting hot back there. I'll turn on this fan. And so it was just like, yeah, let's see if you actually show up, type of thing. And then, long story short, they did come to me in my dream, and when I was asking it too, I was like, I want it direct. I want something direct. Don't come on here on no BS, no um, ridiculous metaphors that I have to like spend forever to decode and whatever. Like, be for real. Like, what is going on? Are you still here for real? Um, because like, just And so, long story short, they did come to me in my dreams. And I won't go through the dream, but what was cool, something that I found really interesting and cool in the dream is that there was a part where not the part, they were there the whole time, where there were these two black women that seemed to be like in their 40s, but I couldn't see I don't know what their faces look like. But I remember feeling like specific words that in the dream and when I woke up that I used to describe those women was non-judgmental, neutral, kind of there, and that I resonated with them. Mind you, I didn't speak to them in the dream. I didn't engage with them in the dream. They were just kind of there while the other stuff was taking place. But I energetically like recognized them or whatever. So I kind of feel like those were my guides in the dream. I feel like I've had that happen on numerous occasions where there's these just kind of figures that I'm resonating with, and the same descriptors, right? And they feel significant, but nothing happens with them, type of thing. But anyways, what I learned from my dream and from my waking life observations as well, just knowing myself and knowing what I'm doing and stuff. But the dream is definitely what kicked it off, definitely, was that spearmint tea that I was drinking. I stopped that. Spearmint tea is so wonderful. I've used it heavily before. That's what I used when I was getting off of birth control. And I had that. It's kind of noisy over here. Hold on. That's what I used when I was getting off of birth control, and I had that androgen rebound that be coming when you get off birth control, and when you have high androgens and stuff. My face is oily because I was just doing, you know. But because my hormones have been balanced, which I knew they were, but I was just like, maybe they're not. Maybe I still have high oil because of that. Long story short, it's not because of that. My receptors, the only other option was my sebaceous gland receptors, whatever I don't know, whatever their title is. Basically, the receptors in charge of this are a little more sensitive. and produce more oil. And they always have. I just didn't always get these things where I was tweezing them. And so that made me think like maybe it's something else, maybe there's a problem, but there is no problem. It's perfectly normal, and I just need to do better at exfoliating. And at night, I'm going to double cleanse with my jojoba oil and then my facial moisturizer instead of my micellar water and whatever, right? Because I haven't been dealing with acne or anything, So, long story short, the spearmint tea, it has been the source of this acne popping up because I don't have hormonal acne, and this is the hormonal acne like region, especially here. I haven't got anything here, but just like pointed out. So not only is the tea the source of the skin stuff popping up, but it's been the source of my mood, fatigue, lack of motivation, all of that, because testosterone and DHT and androgens, whatever, they contribute to all of that. And so, because that's basically a big part of what I was saying when I was sitting there last night, and I was just like what the fuck is going on? Like, I had multiple questions, but my big overarching question for the dream was just like, can you come into my dream and like let me know, like, are you even in here? What is going on? Like, why is this the situation? And then they also came into my dream and told me some other stuff too. Like, in that dream, I actually decoded some other stuff too. And then something that was interesting is I woke up in the middle of the night. Mind you, I've been tracking my sleep heavily recently, and then I've always just paid attention to when I'm waking up in the night and stuff. Not like insomnia or anything, just paying attention, right? And I also clocked that I woke up. I always wake up around like 2:30, like pretty much on the dot. If I wake up, then it's at 2:30, and then I just go back to sleep. Right now, I'm trying to figure out that block sleeping thing, but if it's not at the time that I set it out to be, then I just go back to sleep. And so, yeah. But I woke up and if I wake up in the middle of the night and I sense like it's not my usual time, like I actually intentionally don't look at the clock, and then I just go back to sleep. For some reason, I woke up and like opened my eyes too, like actual like eye open type of wake up, and then quickly sat up to turn around to look at the clock as if like I needed to, and it was 4:44 on the clock. And not only do I never wake up in the 4th hour, like I never wake up at 4 nothing, especially pushing 5, never. And it was the way it was like as if like I had to catch it when I wasn't thinking nothing about nothing, I thought that was just interesting. Now, when I saw the 4:44 on the clock, I honestly just like rolled my eyes because I already told you I wasn't in a good mood, like when I went to bed to ask him to come to me in my dreams. And when I saw that, I was just like, miss me with this shit. Like, I told you I want something direct and clear, not no numbers and riddles. But since it felt significant, because also another thing that makes it interesting is 444 is not a number I think I've ever felt significance with before. It's kind of like when that 1818 popped up, and that was real like random. So anyways, seeing that number, I was like, whatever, I'll look it up tomorrow. And then I looked it up. And at first I was just like, I would try to make any of them fit. Like, I bet you if I saw any of the angel numbers, it would feel like, oh, this is fitting for my situation. But then I actually really thought about it, and the numbers that I would typically see, like a 111 or a 222 or even 888, 777, I thought about those and I was like, actually, no. If I saw those right now, even if it felt significant, I would have like, okay, cool, because that's not really applicable to the situation right now. Like, your abundance is coming doesn't really answer my question of where the fuck are you guys? And so 444, I looked it up, and long story short, is basically like, you are supported, we're here, keep going, stay on course type of thing. So I thought that was interesting that in the same night that I asked them to come to me in my dreams and that I was having just an emotional situation, not only did they come to me in my dreams and answer all of my questions, and they were, in my opinion, present in the dream, right? I don't know exactly who they were, I don't know details, but You know, they came to me in my dreams, they answered my question, they were present in the dreams, and then they woke me up in the middle of the night at a time that I never wake up and had me quickly look at the clock. It was the quickness for me when I intentionally don't even look at the clock. Like that's, and then the timing was also perfect because the next morning when I woke up and I had this bump on my face, I was actually about to make an extra potent batch of that spearmint tea because I was just like, this must be because I still have oil. And then when I was really putting the puzzle pieces together from the dream, in my experience, what I know the spearmint tea is about, I was like, actually, I think this dream is clearly pointing to like this needs to stop. There's nothing wrong with my hormones, and I knew it. The good thing about this is that now I don't need to feel the need to get some expensive ass hormone test done because I was considering it because I was like, maybe that's just something with the oil. But these symptoms make it very clear that my hormones have been and are completely balanced, and that the oil on my skin, I just need to do better with exfoliating and stuff. So keeping it gentle and simple. But yeah, so the spearmint, but that, and that's not anything like against the spearmint tea. Like that shit is goated. If you have PCOS, if you are post birth control with androgen rebound, and you're dealing with like the jawline acne, the chin acne, the excess hair growth, the super painful crampy periods and stuff, all that, that stuff. If your symptoms are because of androgen dominance and not estrogen dominance, that stuff is goated. But for me right now, that's not what I need. So I'm glad that I already was chilling on the actives and just nurturing my skin because I told you I learned not to fight fire with fire. If I start to see stuff popping up, it's like hit the brakes, you know? But this whole experience was really eye-opening. It was really nice to see like when I'm in a situation of feeling down, I was able to, one, ask for help and receive it, and two, I was already assessing like we're like how many days now of feeling this way and outside of our baseline or what's going on mentally, especially like since I know my what I'm influenced by emotionally. I don't know how to really say that sentence. During the different phases of my cycle, I also knew that this is very suspicious to be in follicular, like in rising, like just out of menstrual, even though that's part of follicular, like this is not the time to be feeling like this. It's so fatigued and so whatever. So all the puzzle pieces were able to get put together, and that was really cool. So I hope you're doing good, girl. This week or the rest of this week should be chill. I have an event coming up. I need to make a video for it, but the rest of this week should be cool. We are back online, and I'll see you next time, girl. Hey, girl. We are back online. Androgens are up, progesterone, estrogen, everybody's up. It's only been like 2 days since I stopped the tea, and I figured I would start to see a difference in about 3 days, and then whatever. I've also been drinking raspberry tea to help support the recalibration of everything. Skin is doing much better, not a surprise. I have these on because I did a little too much. I did a little too much over here when I had those plugs are never popping off. But I'm proud of myself for not wanting to bring the Lancet out of retirement to open up that guy. So, because I thought about it. Anyways, things are going really well. I had a dream last night. Mind you, prior to the dream, I had asked my guys to come to me in my dreams again because since the other night prior, the one I already told you about, since that one came in so like direct, or that wasn't even the one prior. I technically had another one that I asked them, and they did come to me in my dream, but it wasn't as it was what I kind of had a feeling it would be. Long story short, so but I was like, that's 2 requests in a row that were answered that same night in the dream, and the first one, the one I told you about, had such passionate emotion the night before during my request. I was kind of almost like getting into a flow state or a meditation in and of itself while I was in the request. And so I was like, last night, it's like I want to ask them about my social situation and my relationship situation. Like, why haven't I found someone to be like a close friend yet? And It ended up being way more passionate of a request than I expected. I I feel like I said, I got into like a little bit of a flow state, and I was holding my amplifying crystals. If you resonate with that type of stuff, I was holding my quartz, I was holding my amethyst, and I tossed a trine in there because why not? It was giving me amplification vibes. I don't actually know if it's an amplifier, but it looks like an amplifier. So I was like, might as well, why not? And then I'm holding them, I'm swaying with my eyes closed while I'm talking just to help get in the zone or whatever, and I'm just talking to them. I wasn't necessarily trying to hit any type of specific flow state. I was just, these are elements that are good to include when I'm talking to them, so I did. And I ended up really getting into it, and the frustration and the rage and the, not that I was like raging out, but I mean like that energy. Sorry, I just saw the spider up there that I want to clean. That really came up, and it was interesting, and I kept it going though, because that's energy. Like, there's a time and place for all emotions and all energy, and the stronger the emotion, the clearer the signal, you know what I mean? And so I was like, I'm gonna just let this keep going. And yeah, and I was just asking my questions and stuff of just like, what's up with this situation, and this morning, it was between the hours of 6 and 7. I'm like really confident in that, because I opened my eyes around 6. And then I lay back down. Actually, not around 6. It's like 6 on the dot, because that's when the curtains open. I lay back down, and it was like, I'll lay here for however long, whatever. Wasn't really thinking much of it. And then I had this really vivid, clear, chronological 3-part dream that I'm about to sit and interpret it. I wrote it all out. It took me like an hour and a half to like write out. First of all, the fact that I remembered so much of it, the fact that it really took place between like 6 and 7. Like, normally I don't clock that. In the dream itself, I'm not going to go into it right now, but the dream itself felt very real. I didn't feel distressed or panicked or anything, but it's not just that it felt real, it's that it took place in my home, and that's part of why it felt so real. Everything was normal, everything was real. Nothing random or dreamlike happened until like really to the end, when it became daytime in the dream or whatever. And it also involved a past stuff. I'm gonna probably go into it later after I sit and interpret it and stuff, but because I had to just write it out, and then I went to the gym. Like I said, it took me like an hour and a half. But I was like, so the first night when I had that really emotional, request, and then I got that really clear, like, dream that I told you guys about already. Next night, I had a request that wasn't as passionate, but it was still whatever clear, and they came to me in my dream. I didn't remember as much of the dream, but they came to me. And so last night, now we have another really passionate, really emotion filled request. And emotion filled doesn't have to be rage or anger, just really emotion filled request. Oh, this battery's gonna die, it's fine, I'm about to be done. And then I get this dream. So I feel like I'm really getting back in my dream interpretation bag. I used to be really heavy in this. So this battery's gonna die anyway. I'm starving, but I'll talk to you later, girl. This is very interesting. Girl, so much has happened. This is like the end of the vlog too. So much has happened. Hope you're doing well. I just finished one of my meditations, and I'm so tired today too. So much has been revealed to me in the last day. I almost said 3 days, but now if I really think about it, I was really about to say 3 days, but let me see. This was literally yesterday. Yeah, it's just because I had the dream prior to that. But and so the dream already revealed a lot to me. A lot. They did their big one with this dream. I called out and with a passion for an answer, and they really did their big one. So I've uncovered basically, you know, my challenge with relationships, and I'm gonna make a different video. I have actually so many ideas, but that I want to do. But I uncovered, what's been operating underneath the surface, and how everything really is a mirror. Like you've known this, I've known this, we've known this. Everything's a mirror. Everything's a mirror, right? I guess I just didn't expect the mirror to be so exact, even though it was right in front of my face. I couldn't see it because of my own perspective and my own patterns and habits. The people in your life, especially the close people in your life, like people that raised you, your close friend, or someone that you've been with like your whole life, like y'all absolutely reflecting each other. It's just expressed in different ways, but it's the same thing with the same core belief and the same patterns, and you both feel like there's been, because now I'm seeing it across the board, like just, it's actually really crazy. So uncovering that, and then also that was essentially revealed through the dream, but even just dissecting that dream, it was just rich with symbolism. That's the most detailed dream I've ever remembered in my life. It was chronological, 3-part series. It felt like about 2 or some days. I dreamt from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I know the exact hours in which this dream occurred in waking life. I'm going to talk about that too, but insane. And then I just did this chakra meditation because I've been reading this book and I find this stuff out about myself and stuff. Oh, the craziest part is how this shit's been manifesting in my body. Oh my God. Oh my God. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew there was no reason for my arms to be tingling like that. I'll be damned. Child. And then the chakras, like it all matches. The chakra that was, you could say, imbalanced because of the belief that I had was impacting the very parts of the body that it is said to impact. And I've heard somebody say that chakras are materializing those parts of the body. I obviously haven't dug into that, but I could see that too. And that would still make sense. And it all just makes sense. The knee problems that I got rid of, but that's and there's a physical explanation for it all. It's actually not far-fetched. All this, I already knew this, we already knew this, but it all makes sense. The sound stuff makes sense. Even the crystal stuff actually makes sense. Everything, it all makes sense. There's an explanation for it all. And your triggers are your biggest signals. And I knew they were too. That's why I've been hunting for this, I haven't been completely blind. I've been looking hey, what's going on? It's not making sense. I can manifest this, that, and the third. I can change so many different areas of my life, but socially, what's going on? Relationships, what's going on? I just healed 2 relationships. My 2 most tension-filled, and tension-filled is a strong descriptor for it, but it can just, there's been a level of tension in the 2 closest relationships in my life, my mom and my childhood friend, my close friend, which I just say she's my sister because we've been friends since first grade. My relationship with her has had this expansion and contraction and tension that I have not been able to identify. And I've taken different angles and different things trying to figure out what is going on. And the tension with my mom, as good as our relationship is, it was just like, what's going on? I was trying to figure it out. Is it me? Am I doing this? Am I doing the same thing? But I'm not doing what she's doing. But it's a mirror. But how is it a mirror? I'm not doing what she's doing. I'm not doing what she's doing in the same way, but I'm doing what she's doing. And Ray's doing what I'm doing. We're all doing what each other are doing. Like you like it's not that anybody's doing anything bad. I just mean like it's just the biggest mirror. You know how this started? I shouldn't say like started because I already was thinking about it and stuff. But you know, one of the things that really kicked this off is when I was trying to dissect why does it bother me so much that my friend always makes herself out to be such a burden, and her burdening herself is what makes her a burden. If you would just come in the crib and sit and be cool and just be yourself and take up space, cool. It's all cool. But when you come in with this, I'm sorry, let me sit here, like this, like you're such a burden energy, you make that into a thing. Why did that trigger me so much? I was asking myself, am I doing that? But I'm not really I'm not in the same way. But I was doing that. I'm saying was because that's in the past now. Once I've identified it, I can do something about it. And I'm no longer speaking that into existence. But, you know, when I realized it, I had that day I told y'all when I went out to Culver. And I was just observing myself and people, as always, you know, and I had a tough day too. Girl, bitch, I had food poisoning. I was so overwhelmed by the car drive there. Like I almost wanted to cry when I got to Honda. And then Honda told me they needed money from me when I thought my shit was under the warranty. And then he came and told me he needed extra money from me because I got the special battery. Bro, finesse me, bitch. And I had that encounter with the lady. Like it was already tough. But I was making the most of it, whatever. I sat in my car for a bit, recharged, went outside. I go outside. I go to this bookstore. I'm trying to just look at the area, see if I like it. I don't even know where I'm at for real. I'm by the Honda. I go in this store. And I want to find somewhere to sit. And I'm looking around. I'm looking for a place to sit. I don't want to occupy any tables because I don't want to buy anything because I wasn't resonating with their menu. There just wasn't really anything on the menu that I could have. And I wasn't going to stay very long. So I was just like, I just want to sit somewhere and just catch a vibe, read a little bit of my book or whatever, which that book even of itself is all part of the story, but we're not even going to tangent into that. But everything is intentional, everything. So whatever, right? I look around, I don't see anywhere to sit. The only place there is to sit is this chair next to this woman who looks friendly. Like, I rock with her. But my brain went into the situation like, I asked if I could sit there, right? And I felt the need to share that this was the only place to sit. Right. That's my brain's way of saying, you know, I know you probably want this space to yourself. And, you know, I looked around. I couldn't find anywhere else to sit, so I didn't need to come here. As if my presence there is a burden. Just because I took I'm sorry out of my vocab and replaced it with pardon doesn't mean the behavior actually went away. It just expressed differently. And I caught it too. When she responded, she was like, oh, okay. You know, she was really cool. And I realized in that moment, she didn't mind me sitting here at all. I came into the situation already putting myself in the position of, I know I gotta stay here. I may not have had as aggressive of body language as maybe I would have in my less confident years. I may not have said, I'm sorry. I may not have put my head down. I may have carried myself in a regulated way because I know how to regulate myself. But the vibe was just the same. I'm sorry, I'm here. And then after I caught her reaction too, then I was worried, like, oh, did I offend her? Because now I'm realizing what I just said could also sound like I didn't want to sit next to you. And then I wanted to share with her somehow that I wanted to sit next to her. It wasn't even like that. I just assumed she didn't want to sit next to me. Mm. And I noticed that too. I was noticing the whole thing. And I did end up talking to her. We had a great conversation. She thanked me for chatting her up. She thanked me for talking to her. She talked most of the conversation. I loved it. I loved what she had to say. I was asking about the area. She had wonderful things to share. We had very similar beliefs, lifestyles, straight resonance, hella resonance. Because see, I can still be putting out this vibe, this vibration of regulated, confident, connected, grounded, interested in these. I can still attract these type of people in my life while simultaneously manifesting situations and behaviors where I'm positioning myself as a burden and other people position themselves as burdens in my presence too. And then their self-burdening triggers me. Right, like do you see it? Later, same day, eventually I leave the coffee shop. I'm walking around town, I'm just looking, never been here, want to check it out. This guy comes up to me, shoot a shot or whatever. Nice guy, sweet guy. Hella resonance in certain areas, but a strong lack of resonance in his self-burdening behavior. He very much, repeatedly too, he lacked confidence. He lacked a belief in himself. He automatically assumed that his presence was burdening me. And I hated it. I enjoyed his presence, like when we were just chatting it up, and I chatted up with him. I wasn't interested in him like that, but cool guy. I have no problem staying here speaking with you for a moment. But two things happened in this situation, actually. Two things happened in this situation. So not only did I think to myself, this is another person coming up to me, positioning themselves in this way. Am I putting out this energy? Like I thought to myself, why do people that are coming into my field constantly have this energy? If it's every now and then, because there's people, but it's often. What does that say about me and the type of people that I'm attracting? So not only was that noticed, but then at a certain point, as much as I love chopping it up with him, I wanted to leave. I had not a lot of daylight left. I wanted to look around. I was ready to walk because I had sat in the car for a minute prior because the day was so fucking overwhelming, my freaking food poisoning and shit. So and then there was somewhere else that I was at. So I was very much ready. As much as I was happy chopping it up with him, I was ready to part ways. But guess what? I didn't. Why didn't I? Because I didn't want him to feel like I didn't want to talk to him. And mind you, he gave me multiple outs. Multiple times he was like, it's okay if you do, I don't want you to feel obligated. And I insisted, yeah, no problem. Despite the fact that I really wanted to leave. You know what that is? That is self-abandonment. That is ignoring your body's very clear request of, hey, I need to go, I'm tired, or I'm hungry, or I need to move, or whatever. That is self-abandonment. Just sacrifice yourself for this person. And that's not to say like sacrifice or doing things for people is wrong. Like, it's not even like that. It's the complete solid abandonment. I did the same thing I told y'all with the pest control guy when he was here for freaking 4 hours. The service is 20 minutes. At some point I just started making my damn dinner. I was hungry. I was getting so fucking depleted. But there was part of me interested in some of what he was saying, but I was also really ready to sit down. My battery was on E. There was already so much going on. I was starving. I was hungry. That's the same thing. That doesn't tell you how hungry I was, child. But I did not advocate for myself. Same wound around self-worth, believing that you need to sacrifice yourself for love from others and kindness from others and respect from child, I told you I wasn't gonna go into detail and I started going into detail, but there's honestly so much more. But yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you one more thing. Right. You know what also I find crazy? I'm doing this chakra meditation. First time. I actually want to make this into a workshop or something for real. This shit is actually crazy. I got the idea from this book. And it's combined kind of with like what I be doing in like the saunas and my other meditation. Kind of like, I don't know. I'm doing this chakra meditation and I get to the heart chakra. The one directly impacted by giving and receiving to others and being seen and feeling seen, right? One of the heavy hitters in what we've been talking about, right? I get to that. And at first, I thought I lost it because I was feeling for where stuff felt instead of trying to force it to where I thought the chakra was. I just wanted to see, like, what do I feel? Like, kind of like what happens. And at first I was focusing my attention over my literal heart. And then as I started to continue to say the stuff out loud, I felt it burning in where it is, actually in the center. I was like, whoa. And I'm speaking life into this chakra and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm bouncing it or whatever. And the energy I feel pulsate up and down my arms and hands. Didn't expect that. Wasn't looking for that. Can't tell me that I was searching. Bro. The very section of my body I have been having the most challenge with. And it's associated with this chakra on paper. I didn't know for real. Like, it was just feeling that was absolutely crazy. It surprised me. And I'm interested to see, like, long term, you know, what's going on with my arms. Because, you know, bitch have been, you know, but so much in, like, 48 hours. From a dream that I interpreted something else from that dream today too. I have so many videos I want to make. I hope I get around to actually making them. Not to mention things coming to me in my physical life. Someone booked a consultation with me tomorrow. I got invited to be a speaker on a panel for a wellness retreat. It's like a day event, like a day retreat. And this reveals everything about every single one of my relationships. That's what makes this so fascinating. Like even my relationship with the relative I be telling you about that I'm really close, my relationship with everybody. And this also explains why the relationship that I do have that's healthy, like really healthy, that explains why that one is, and the rest of the. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap the vlog up here because I bet you this video alone has this bad boy at a good size. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Stay tuned. I mean, I'm putting stuff in my journal and stuff because I want to organize this information in a way that is like something that can be really understood by others. Not like my personal business, but just like conceptually, you know. Um, I'm also really tired. I got my butt kicked at Pilates the other day. I was having fun too. So, anyways, girl, I'll wrap it up here. And hell yeah.